Ishupon and Guru in the house, back with another bang on video. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about something really special in this video. Of course, Barcelona players are on sale, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, of course, Barcelona players are on sale right now. And of course, which players? Well, we'll be discussing in that video. Do we actually need those kind of players? Of course. But you need to understand which players are actually available for Arsenal. And the best part is we're going to talk about some bios talking about Arteta, if we have the time for that, and Eric Dyer, and finally the handball rule is being scrapped off. Everything will be discussed in this video, and of course, some crucial minutes for Arsenal defenders who have not at all got full fitness yet. So yes, we're going to discuss everything about that. So stay tuned, and if you seek daily Arsenal content, this is the best place to be. Subscribe, man. Cheers. The first news that we've got here is that Arsenal legend Ray Parlour has called for Nicolas Pepe to do more of what he did in the Europa League. He says, Pepe is shown it in patches, but he was much better last night. I must admit, he's better when he runs at players and commits players. He takes the easy option usually in the Premier League, runs at fullbacks, make them commit. When he does get on his left foot, he's got a good strike on him. The reason he is out on the right-hand side is so he can cut inside and shoot with his left foot. We've always had left wingers who were right-footed, Pires and Overmars, who would cut inside and score you 20 goals a season, but it's alright doing it against smaller sides like Mulder. You've got to do it against the big sides. He's got to make the impact he had last night against teams in the Premier League. He's shown glimpses he can do it in the Premier League, but he has not done it on a regular basis. It's consistency. You've got to do it in week in, week out. You've got to be a 7 or 8 out of 10 every week, and that's where you're going to be a real success at your club. So yes, I hope Nicolas Pepe is actually listening to these wise words from the man himself. But also, well, Nicolas Pepe actually scored for Arsenal against Molde to put himself back in Mikel Arteta's good books, but he actually posted an image on Instagram with the caption, "Goal, great success tonight," to which Joe Willock commented below it saying that you're welcome for the assist. So of course, we all want him to perform consistently in the Premier League games in the similar way that he played against Molde. But also, let's talk about it because Arsenal were forced to spend a third night in Norway after their flight back to England was cancelled due to fog in the UK. Well, the Gunners were scheduled to return back to London immediately after their win against Molde, but it looks like they arrived on Tuesday to Norway rather than Wednesday to comply with the country's the testing regulations for the virus. And of course, according to the Telegraph, Arsenal will have a game against Wolves on Sunday that has been disrupted after their flight home was pushed back. Now let's see. Arsenal made the decision to return back on Friday morning instead of flying out to an airport outside of the capital. They will now train in the afternoon at London Colney ahead of their fixture against Nuno Espirito Santo's team. But Fredi Inberg has opened up about Mesut Ozil. He says, when you play teams who have a low block and you need someone to unlock it, Mesut has the total quality to do that. I think there is a space for a player like that in those kind of games. Hey, even I feel the same, but that's okay. But moving on, Arsenal are yet to open talks over an extension or contract extensions with number 1, Alexandre Lacazette, and number 2, Eddie Nketiah, who both enter the final year of their contracts next summer. So it looks like we've got less than 2 years left in their contract. Number 1, Eddie Nketiah, and number 2, Alex Lacazette. That's a big question. Who will you give the contract extension to? I'm pretty much sure not many Arsenal fans are convinced with both of their performance against Molde. But okay, the game's not over yet. So it looks like Foreign Balogun's camp want reassurances that Balogun will be given enough first-team opportunities and not just sold later on to generate funds after he extends his contract. Talks are ongoing. No agreement is closed yet. And Foreign and his camp believe he is ready to play first-team football. Arsenal had originally set a 12 to 15 million pound valuation for Balogun during the summer window. Sheffield made a concrete offer which fell significantly short of that valuation. Brentford had also shown interest. Now, big question. Will Foreign Balogun be given enough assurances that he'll be getting first-team action in the coming season or in this season itself? in my personal point of view, I think the 2 Europa League games he should start now, because those don't matter to Arsenal anymore. Of course, the next win seals our first, that we're going to top the group, of course. But the next thing is, he can actually play for Arsenal in the group stages of, in the third round of FA Cup. Of course, the opponents should not be as difficult as they come in that competition. But let's see. Moving on, well, Aubameyang has opened up about certain things. He says, I've learnt a lot of things since I've been playing on the left side. It gives me opportunities because a lot of defenses are attracted by the number 9. Laka and Eddie are doing a great job, and so they can leave space for us sometimes to come and run in behind the defense. Let's see. But also, Arsenal under 23 played a game against Derby in Premier League 2, and the best part was that it actually was giving minutes to 3 Arsenal defenders who are currently not in the first team. That is Chambers, Pablo Mari and Saliba. It was a very strong lineup in terms of defense. Of course, Arsenal won the game 3-1. Ben Cottrell was one of, among the goal scorers. It was really great to see him score. But the best part was Chambers, Mari and Saliba got their important minutes. But also, Arteta opened up about Emile Smith, of course, the assist against Molde. He says, Emile is a player with incredible talent. He's got the ability and quality. Mentally, it's always a challenge because the demands are so high. The pressure is high to play here, and you need to hit those levels to become an Arsenal player. It's down to him as well. So let's see how things will turn out. And also, Arsenal managed 19 shots against Molde, the only game under Mikel Arteta since last December where the team has created more in 90 minutes was at home against Dundalk, where we actually had 25 shots. And the 8 shots on target that Arsenal mustered last night is the joint most in a single game under Mikel Arteta, along with the home game versus Norwich in July, where we actually mustered 8 shots on target. Arsenal are improving, aren't they? But moving on, let's talk about the tickets. Rapid Vienna tickets have been sold out according to the stadium plan. Yes, the stadium plan have suggested that the 2,000 tickets have already been sold out. So bad luck and good luck who actually got it. All the best, of course. But Nicolas Pepe looks out of his depth according to Paul Mason. Mason is actually not happy with the whole headbutt situation that Nicolas Pepe engaged in with Alioski. So he says Nicolas Pepe looks out of his depth, and he's going to have to do it against much better teams than Molde, to change my opinion. He let his frustration get the better of him against Leeds and did something silly with the headbutt because things haven't been going well for him at Arsenal for months. He came in for 70 million odd pounds. If they'd bought him for 20 million pounds, nobody would be moaning, but the fee brings pressure and he's not been able to handle it. I watch him play and I don't know what he brings to the table, but it's not his fault Arsenal are struggling. That's what he says. But also Fredi Inberg has opened up about why he left Arsenal's coaching staff in the summer. He says, what changed on a match day was that I would sit up in the stand to look down. I'd have an earpiece with the bench. I would say how the opponents pressed. If there was a hole somewhere, if one of their players was not holding the line, if we should attack on that side, or we are having a problem with something, our player isn't doing what we've coached in the week. It can be difficult to see everything when you sit down there in the dugout. So I made notes, did drawings, I'd speak to the bench, come down at halftime and tell them what I'd seen. Of course, it was different from being on the bench, but that was what Mikel's staff wanted and what I had to accept and do. And I'm pretty much sure he's not at all happy with that. Of course, I think he deserves to actually start his career. He's got his licensing done. So I'm pretty much sure I'm expecting him at a bigger club. Moving on, well, Arsenal skipper Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has revealed that he does not mind to play anywhere. He says, I play everywhere. I don't mind really. I really don't mind. Everyone knows where I prefer to play, but this doesn't matter because I prefer to have many options than just one. I want to help and I want to learn as well, because you learn every day, even if you're young or maybe older, but I'm still learning and I feel good everywhere. Now here's the big news. Arsenal are actually put on a red alert with the news that Barcelona are shipping out some really high-profile stars. And the Gunners, of course, have been linked with Felipe Coutinho and Antoine Griezmann. But according to El Chiringuito, they believe that the pair could be finding different pastures. It looks like Felipe Coutinho and Antoine Griezmann would be looking at some other clubs at the moment because, of course, bad blood with Barcelona, and I'm pretty much sure they're looking at some interested clubs. Of course, Arsenal were interested in bringing in Coutinho, the most likely club that was interested in Felipe Coutinho in the summer transfer window. And of course, Antoine Griezmann, in the past, Arsenal have shown a lot of interest before his move to Barcelona, but of course, that did not materialize. So of course, Arsenal are definitely not looking at a player profile like Griezmann right now. But of course, Felipe Coutinho, we miss that kind of a player right now. So these were the news of the day. I hope you enjoyed whatever came your way. All the views and news and everything about Arsenal comes to this platform every single day twice. So what you got to do is subscribe and hit the bell icon. I will see you in the next one. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter as well. Cheers.